Haha, people, what's going on? BPhife here, back at you with a Madden 16 video. I promise you these videos, I'm going to deliver them. I got some queued up for you, just ready to just go ahead and make them public. And you know, I thought about this long and hard. I said, okay, how can I best give you some videos that will make sense? Now, I made a couple videos that are just kind of just, you know, some random videos, but I decided that I'm going to try to do my best to translate is the game worth 65 to you before you have the opportunity to pay for it, so you have a time to think about this. Okay, now I started my channel as a consumer, so it was only fitting that I continue being a consumer. Okay, you know, if you're the type of person that has any type of relationship with a developer, you're not a consumer. Okay, if you're a consultant, if you're a buddy, if you're an employee, if you're a stockholder, if you actually make the game, whatever the case may be, you're not a consumer anymore. If you get it free, you're not a consumer. Okay, so what I wanted to do was talk about the game in a critical but yet constructive fashion, so that way people would know the pitfalls going into the game, because there's going to be plenty of time to celebrate the improvements of the features. But when that's all over, what do you got? So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started here. As you can see, we have Denver Broncos here. We have Peyton Manning, we have Brock Osweiler, you know, two quarterbacks, starter and the backup. If they look familiar to you, you probably saw Rezolve's video where he did the you know, on Madden 15, he did the attributes for man coverage, and this is actually inspired by that particular video, because I was actually going to do it on Madden 15, but then the 16 demo dropped, so I said, well, let me do it on 16. But then I started seeing some things in this game that now I kind of made it more of, it's not the same experiment, it's just inspired by. And the things that I noticed, well, speaking of notice, make sure that you take a look at, or pause, or whatever the case may be, but look at the discrepancies between the attributes, and then I'm going to point out three of them that in particular that I think you know, a lot of this experiment pretty much is based around. But some of the things that I've noticed, oh, actually, I'm sorry, before I get into that again, we'll definitely have time for that. But what I'm doing here is I'm setting up 10 snaps for each quarterback, thrown to the same receiver with the same drop back release, covered by the same DB. The DB is Darrelle Revis, just like Rezolve did, but my receiver is Demaryius Thomas. Okay, and this is like a 5 to 10 yard throw. 5 to 10 yard throw. So this is, we're talking about short throwing accuracy. This is the attribute, I mean the rating that we're paying attention right now. And if you didn't notice it, Peyton Manning was a 95, Brock was a 78, I believe. That's a discrepancy of 17. So we'll see what happens here. But I want you to notice here Darrelle Revis's defense. He seems flat-footed at times, which we all know is a legacy issue that has occurred in previous Maddens. So I just wanted to note that it's confirmed here. Now, I'm not going to take the time to break down the rest of any legacy issues that may exist. We're just going to focus on these 10 passes each for the short for the short throw. Now, the reason why I turned this into the reason for this experiment is that as playing, sorry to interrupt again, but if you were keeping record of how many complete passes Peyton Manning had, guess what? Oh, this doesn't count right here for Brock. This is still Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning just went 4 for 10. Brock starts right here. This is the first snap. Alright, so we're going to do 10 again. Same release, same bullet pass, everything. I'm trying to keep everything consistent. I'm trying to give the computer the same exact situation. Because what I've noticed in this thing is I've noticed some fallacies about the improvements, and I'm just trying to see whether or not these are these are improvements, or these were said improvements. Because the one thing about this, you might say this, because I always look at these kind of experiments as like, at the end of the day, does it look realistic? At the end of the day, can we say this is, just a game? At what point, where's that line? Where's that measuring stick? Well, I think these are actually a great way to measure progress, because if we're looking at statistical data and we're trying to recreate the same exact scenario in each game, that's how we can measure progress. So it becomes more of a fact than an opinion on whether or not the game's improved. All right, so now that you saw Brock, guess how many he went? That's right, 4 for 10. Remember, Peyton Manning was 95. Brock was 78. Discrepancy of 17. They both went 4 for 10. I don't know. But anyway, maybe you're saying short yardage. Somehow you're discounting short yardage, and that doesn't mean anything to you. Let's move on to medium throw. This is more like anywhere from 12 to 17 yards, something like that. Again, 10 snaps, same DB. All right. Now this doesn't count here. I'm just gonna get a replay just so I can show you. We got the same defender here, Darrelle Revis on Demaryius Thomas. Now let me go back to my previous thing. I've noticed that the incompletions and the QB discrepancies between starters and bench players or star players and just mediocre quarterbacks doesn't seem to be improved as it was touted. Okay, now I did a video on contact miscues and incomplete passes. We'll take a look at that. It's kind of a different dimension of how realistic or how believable these actually are, or if it's just, the computer's way of saying this is not supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen. So yeah, go ahead and take a look at that. Link is in the description. But what I want to do here is I just want to see, does it matter if Peyton got injured? Does it actually matter? Let's see here. You know what? Let's take a minute here. Let's take a minute for a little station identification. I want to shout out, a couple people that's been pretty tough with me, on the likes, on the support, in the comment section, on the Twitter side. Shout out to my man DJ81. He's been coming through, liking the vids. Appreciate that, bro. Same with Hollywood Sports, man. Hollywood Sports coming through. Actually, yeah, he'll come through and he'll hit me on Twitter. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, bro. So, thanks for the support. Game always comes through. Versuz comes through. Apex comes through. I mean, these are all, these are solid people. Rezolve, of course, he comes through. A lot of you guys come through. And a shout out to my man. That likes to try to blast me in the comments. I appreciate you coming through, my brother. Appreciate you coming through and saying what you got to say. Now hold on. You probably noticed that was 11 throws. Let's just discount that last one where he scores the touchdown. I kind of lost count, but the ones prior to that was 10. 11 minus 1 is 10. Okay? And if you were counting there and you deleted that last completion, you would have come up with 7 of 10 for Peyton Manning, when his medium throwing accuracy is 90 and Brock's is 77. So let's go ahead and take a look at Brock and let's see what he does. And again, this is Peyton Manning. The computer already preloaded Peyton Manning, so I'm just going to throw this away. And again, all of this is the same situation, letting Skynet take over. Now you can start with Brock's 10 right here. Oh, you know what? I forgot. No, I can forget. Shout out to my man, this cat. Shout out to my man, Hard 8 times. Yeah, he came through on Twitter. He came through. You know, gave me a little tweet or what have you. Didn't leave a comment. It's all right. Maybe next time. But you know, he retweeted. You know, liked it or whatever. You know, shout out to him. I'll see you, my brother. Xbox One. I'ma holler at you. I think he's playing too. Actually, I think he has the deal too. It'd be nice to hear what he had to say. I mean, even though he's in fanboy land, you know what I'm saying, plastic and all that stuff. That's what he's all about right now. But anyway, yeah, shout out to him. You know, shout out to if you come through, you know, Brian Graham, you know, shout out to all the regulars, you know. Who else comes through, man? I don't know. I just can't think right now. But if you come through, you know, I appreciate the support. Oh, and you know, he got sacked right there, so you gotta discount that sack. You know what I'm saying? That didn't count as one of his snaps. I'm only talking about when he throws the ball. When he throws the ball. So I know somebody might say, "Oh, he had 11 too," but no, it would not count now. I'm talking about when he throws the ball. Again, this is a good way to use statistical data to, you know, say if an improvement is actually happening. So sad to say, if you've been keeping track, that's right, 7 for 10, just as Peyton did. A discrepancy of 13 skill points in Peyton's favor. But yet in both experiments, short and medium, they performed the exact same completion ratio. You be the judge.